welcome back to another episode of Girl Boss Bible. I'm Katie Clay, and this is the podcast for Girls with Goals, where we talk all things achievable outcomes and methods and ways of becoming the ultimate girl boss. I've got Hannah Anderson with me today, who is a dear friend and also a footballer, but overall...
I wouldn't go that far.
But overall is a social media marketing mogul. Now, everyone kind of wants a job in marketing right now. It's like really hot, but I don't think anyone really ever explains how you actually get one. So there's like big job titles, different brands, big agencies, all of that. But I don't feel like there's a lot of info around on how to actually break into it as a career. So this today is more for anyone who's actually thought, how do I actually start a career in marketing? And I guess, I want us to look at sort of real world stuff today and how you build a career. What is marketing? What does a day-to-day look like? But yeah, I think because it's quite an airy-fairy term, marketing. It kind of covers a lot of ground.
A lot.
Yes. But before we do that, let's have a little intro to you. Take me back to younger you. What did you actually think your career was going to look like originally?
So originally, I went to university when did I start? Like 2011, to become a primary school teacher. So my like career plans and goals from the age of being 5 years old was to be a primary school teacher. That's what I wanted to be. Went to uni, did the full degree, became a qualified primary school teacher. And then sacked it off, basically. So whilst I was in university, I kind of built this passion project, and it was at the time where social media was just kind of bubbling up. So you had Facebook, you had Twitter a little bit, and I just started making Twitter pages for fun. It was like a thing that people did back then.
Yeah.
And I made a Twitter page about The Sims. I made a Twitter page about Harry Potter. I made one that was like relatable British things, and over the course of maybe a year or two during university, I grew like a couple of 100,000 followers just out of the sheer, love of the game.
Yeah. How do you even think of those as ideas though, Han?
I basically what happened was I saw other people growing on Twitter. I saw other people with these kind of big followings, and I thought, right, well, how do you get that? And I actually started out on my own page, and I saw a lot of people building pages around One Direction, like fan pages. And so I was like, well, I'll just become a fan of One Direction. So I built this the first page I built was literally a One Direction fan page. I think I maybe got it to like 50,000 followers. And what you'd do back in the days, you'd get into a network of other people who had the same amount of followers as you, and you would retweet their stuff and they'd retweet yours. So that's kind of how it started out. And then I eventually, maybe took us a little bit long to realize that like no one give am I allowed to swear on here?
Oh yeah, we swear.
Yeah. No one gave a fuck about me. Like I'm a nobody.
Yeah.
But what people did care about was what they enjoyed, what they liked. Like I knew that The Sims was a big game. I loved The Sims. I loved The Sims. I loved Harry Potter. Like I realized that people went on social media not to follow people really, but to follow and interact with things that they could relate to and care
or
about.
have a laugh or whatever.
Exactly. So that's when I started kind of creating all of these pages, and it just kind of snowballed over the course of a couple of years, and then that's how sort of accidentally fell into just the world of social and the world of marketing.
Yeah. And then obviously you founded Social Chain. So what happened there? Like, what were the early days like? Like, what was going on?
Yeah,
like, you were young, man.
Very young. So it was when I was about 20. It was in my third year of university. I got a direct message from I think it was Dom, but it was Dom and Steve. And the message said something like, "Hey man, love the page," because it was a faceless page.
Yeah,
like, I didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
Do you want to, it was actually, do you want to sell it? Do you want to sell the page? And I was like, oh, I could make some money here. Offered us £1,500 for all my pages, and I like genuinely considered it because
It's a lot of money.
So much money, so much money. I was in uni, I was living with me dad. I come and I was like, oh my God, like my life is about to change from this
Yeah.
£1,500. But I knew that they were worth more, and I was like, what else could we do? And that's kind of how we started working together. Then Social Chain kind of bubbled and started. And early days, we were in London. So I finished uni. The following week, I went down to London on the Monday. We stayed in Airbnbs all week, and then we all came back up north. Those two lived in Manchester. I lived up in the northeast. You know, it would be like a 1-bedroom Airbnb. I'd have the bedroom. Steve would have the couch. Dom would have the floor.
Wow.
And we like shared an office with like this app that we were promoting. That was our big thing back in the day, was like we would use our Twitter pages to like tell people to download apps, and we'd get like millions of downloads, which was just wild. And we wouldn't be able to do that now. But
yeah, because this will be like pre-hashtag ad and all that. Yeah, so it's like it's like they don't think they're being advertised to, but you are.
There was no hashtag ad. Like for a good couple of years, like they were the glory days.
Yeah.
So like, what we would do, if we had this app that we worked with called Tippy Tap, and it was like a game where you had to not tap the black tiles or something, and there was white tiles that you had to tap, and it would go really fast. And we like came together. I think we were like over Zoom or whatever it was at the time, Skype maybe, RIP. And we were like, right, we want to get people to download this app. How should we do it? And I went, well, you tell people not to download it. Like you tell people, because it's too addictive, it'll ruin your life, it'll ruin your degree.
Yeah.
And you tell people not to download it. So on my Harry Potter page, I was going, do not download Tippy Tap, you will fail your OWLs. And like relating it to every single page we had. And every single page at the same time tweeted that. Boom, 2 million downloads in 2 weeks.
Wow.
So yeah, that was the type of stuff that we did early days. And it was very like, looking back, it was very like break the internet kind of thing. That again, you wouldn't be able to do it a day because it just doesn't doesn't work like that.
Because I actually feel like you guys basically invented advertising on social media.
We're probably one of them, especially in the UK, like in and around Manchester, where we eventually, a couple of months later we moved to, but in and around Manchester, you had us, you had Lad Bible, Uni Lad, you had all of these like social businesses kind of cropping out of nowhere. Yeah, it was just wild, and the we were all early 20s. Some like I was hiring 17-year-olds. Like,
was you?
Yeah, like one of our best ever hires came in, 17 years old, said, this is a video I made, and it was fucking unbelievable.
Really?
So I was like, right. I went downstairs, I went, Steve, I've just met this guy, he's 17, but I promise.
Yeah.
I promise, hire him.
Yeah.
He went, right, I'll give him like an internship, paid him pennies for 3 months. By 3 months in, he was on like a fantastic salary.
Wow.
He still works for Steve to this day.
Does he? Wow. So I bet he's on a
if you're on a
life,
yeah. No, he's lovely.
Wow, that's unreal. What's it like though in the early days? Because if you're like running a business and you're 20 years old, like you have no idea what you're doing.
No, well, we didn't. Absolutely did. Nobody did. I don't know how, as a business, it survived. Like, to be honest, I think we went through some days where it might not have. Do you know what I mean? Like, genuinely, there was one day where all of our emails got hacked. I'd actually, classic me, I break a lot of bones, but I'd broken my foot at the time, so I was up home in the northeast at my dad's, because I had this broken foot, had a boot on, couldn't really do anything, and I got a text, all the emails have been hacked. So from our emails to clients were like horrible emails were going to clients.
The sabotage.
Yeah.
Sabotage.
So we wiped out like all of our clients overnight. So we had a few of those kinds of like ropey times.
Wow.
But to be fair to Steve and to Dom and the whole leadership team at the time, like everything was like, no, it'll be fine. Like, it was always like,
just keep going. Were they as young as you? Was you all the same age?
They're both younger than me.
Really?
Yeah, so Steve's about 8 months younger. Dom's exactly a year younger.
Wow. Oh, God.
So, yeah, they were both God, younger.
So they're still dead young now, really.
Yeah.
So, was there any times when you like just felt well out of your depth
all the time.
all the time. Yeah.
All the time. Being kind of flung into a management position, from day dot, it was like, oh, Hannah is nice, is smart, has
Yeah.
got a head screwed on. And as we were building the people who could come in and manage the pages and building the network of pages, like they were all, as young or younger, and I was in charge of those people. And honestly, I just had to wing it. I remember being so nervous. There was one guy, and he came in every day at like 11:30, and I was like, you can't
do it, man.
You can't do that. Yeah, we're really flexible, but we're all here for like 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like you can't. And I remember my heart I pull him into a meeting, and my heart was like, and I was like, oh shit, but I've kind of faked it.
Yeah.
And then now that wouldn't even cross.
But then
my
they
mind.
just take the piss more if you keep allowing it. That's the
100%.
issue. You've got to nip it in the bud, because I've learned that, like, you just want everyone to think you're like the cool mom.
Yeah.
But like, it's not business, is it? You can't do that.
It's hard. It's something that I still struggle with, to be honest.
Yeah.
Is like that balance between, work and Hannah, who genuinely cares about people.
Yeah.
And I think it's part of the reason why I think I'm quite a good manager, is because I do struggle with that, because I want everyone to be okay, but I've learned that you have to be cruel to be kind.
Yeah, and I'm always like, I'm at a point with my team now where I've got like unreal team members and I trust them all, and that's fantastic. So that's fine. I'm super chilled with them. Like, I'm dead flexible, whatever you want to do, because I know the work's done, so that's fine. But if you're in another situation where stuff's not getting done and you've got to pull people up all the time, it just like, it makes me laugh, because I always like, there's such value in having someone that just does the job. Like, you can't even explain how much like it benefits you, because you don't have to monitor them, you don't have to say anything. It makes your life so easy. What about like when you think of it in terms of like imposter syndrome, or even being in like boardrooms at 21 years old, like what's that feeling like?
Yeah, I remember, and again, I haven't got to this point yet, but to be fair, a few times. The first time I met Steve and Dom, no, maybe the second time I met them, was down in London, and Steve put us in this like ridiculous hotel. He had some money from his previous business, and he put us in this ridiculous hotel, like opposite St. Paul's Cathedral.
Stunning.
Like, and it was like, I don't even know why it was. It was about an hour taxi away from from where we were actually, like where the little office was.
Yeah. Just being flashed now. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember like sending me mates like pictures of it, and I was like, look, there's like a dressing gown in the hotel room. Oh my god! And like that was one of many. But yeah, like being in a big boardroom. I think. I certainly do. I don't know if imposter syndrome is the right word, because I certainly have felt, why me and why am I here? But then on the flip side of that, like I do believe in myself, and I do like I've always believed that what I had and what I built has value, regardless of if other people believe it or not.
Yeah.
But certainly being like intimidated and like more so imposter syndrome on like a class level and like wealth
do
level.
I belong here? Like it's feeling like this
exactly.
room's not my usual room.
Yeah, exactly. And especially with an accent like mine, and that's more of it than ever questioning my ability as much.
Yeah, because Steve's got a posh accent, really.
Yeah,
like is he from down south? Yeah, no, yours is particularly
not
distinct.
Posh.
Yeah, and
definitely,
I'm quite the same. So no qualms there, sister. Oh, mad. So, I guess let's just have a look at marketing and stuff, because, like I said before, it's such a broad term. And I'm very much, this is like so far afield from my career, where I'm like super like business strategy, finance, like that side of things. Whereas this is like the full creative flow, and this is like completely different. And I feel like we have like sales reps, and they're always like, oh, marketing's just like, don't believe in it, like whatever. And I'm just like, oh, shut up. Because I enjoy it. And our marketing person left, and I took over our LinkedIn page, by the way, and I actually grew it like quite a lot.
Go.
Just saying. We had like all these stats that were like, whoa, what's happened here? And I was like, oh, that person actually just left. Getting done right. So yeah, anyway, but yeah, so it's like, it is a broad term. There's a lot to it. What does it mean in a day to day? Really?
So much. I mean, and again, within marketing, you've got many different like specialisms and roles. Fundamentally, marketing is convincing people to do what you want them to do. That that ultimately, in whatever channel you do that on, obviously has different ways of doing that. Now, marketing has changed drastically over the past, 20, 30 years, drastically, continues to change at a drastic pace. Historically it started out with print and, you'd be able to get a message in a newspaper or put up a poster. As time's gone on, you were able to put a television advert out there.
Yeah.
And then in the past 15 to 20 years, here comes this new tool called social media, which is obviously my specialism. And I think a lot of traditional marketers struggle with social because it's a very different channel where the power of of who sees and who engages with your message is in their hands. It's not in the marketer's hands. You can't just shout a message on social media because people just scroll past.
Yeah.
Whereas you could shout a message on television because unless you were going to go and make a cup of tea, you were probably just going to sit and watch the adverts.
Or a billboard or whatever, it's in your face.
Exactly, it's in your face. So, but yeah, fundamentally, marketing always has been, always will be, is psychology. Essentially, it's how can we get this person or get this group of people to do what we want them to do, which is ultimately, at the end of the day, buy a product, or when they go into a shop, choose your product over someone else's.
Or like, even like what's strong in my business is like, no, I don't own the business, but where I work. Like brand identity as well. So that's something that I know a lot about, because we're not the cheapest on the market, so we have to focus a lot
100%.
on like people just buying into the brand. But it's kind of a bit like sales, really. Basically, you just want getting people to buy your shit at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you can do that in many different ways.
What roles exist then? Like, what type of roles exist out there?
I'll talk about our business that I've been at for the past 5 years. It's called New Gen. It used to be called Kairos Group. It's essentially a social media and creator marketing business. So in terms of our services, we do like social media management. So my team will run the Instagram page, the TikTok page for Pepsi in the UK.
Oh, nice.
Across Pepsi, 7-Up, Rockstar, Gatorade. We also work with a lot of gaming brands. So social media marketing, social media management is one service. We also do bigger creative campaigns. So that'll be, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Again, just to use Pepsi as an example, last year we launched a cherry Pepsi ring popper, which was based on the insight that young girly pops with long nails don't want to open a can of Pepsi because it'll hurt their nails. Or like it'll pull their nails off that have been done. So we made this like ring that basically goes over the top of your nail to
shut up, I'd love that.
Exactly. So we do these big campaigns, and then that was done out across all the channels. We then have an influencer marketing department, really big influencer marketing department. Where we work with thousands of influencers to whether it's like gaming, streaming new games, whether it is, I'm trying to think off the top of my head of the things that we do within, whether it's like project by project.
But so say take that Pepsi example. So you've made this ring to open up the can. So who comes up with that? Like, what would their role be? As a job title say?
I'll go. So there's we have a creative department. So that would be a creative, midweight creative, or senior creative, or whomever. We have a creative department with an executive creative director who oversees. Then we have creatives underneath their job is essentially to come up with ideas based on briefs that we get from clients. That is their job. Come up with ideas and also kind of help execute them. They then brief in, the production team. They would then brief in my team, right? Well, how is this translating onto social media? How can we get this message across that means that people aren't going to scroll past it? So you have creatives, we have people who work in production, so that's videographers, editors. We have my team who's social media managers. Then I have a full team of content creators who are a team of 4 whose job is to present content, whose job is to film content on their phones. That's a new thing within the past year and a half. That's kind of that has come
people
out.
are doing that as a full-time job as well, aren't they?
It's a full-time job. So I have a team of 4 who we book out a house once a week,
right?
to go and create content. So we go and create content for Pepsi, for Sega, for all of our clients in this house, because they want the content to feel authentic. And so it's better to do that than is to go and rent a studio.
Yeah.
I mean, we're paying off the bloke's mortgage. It's like,
that's mad. So people rent the houses
people
out.
rent the houses out for content, and we're not the only people who go and do that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of we do have a finance department.
I imagine from a finance side that it's a bit more complex, because a lot of invoices going out for a lot of different types of work,
especially when it's
like a service at the end of the day. Yeah,
especially when it's influencer campaigns. We might have a campaign where we work with 300 influencers in a month.
Wow. And they'll invoice you then,
and
I guess.
they invoice us, and we PO them. We use like approval max.
To
get that done.
So would you like reach out? So you just reach out to the influencers, do you represent influencers, or
so
you do
the influencer marketing department, we reach out to influencers on mass. Again, we work with Yoto, which is it's like a children's toy brand. They have hundreds of influencers a month. We have a team of people who are directly in contact with the influencers, negotiate and rate all that kind of stuff, ensuring that they're going live at the right time. But we also do have a talent representation team within the business. So we represent around about 70 talent across gaming and lifestyle, where their representation, where their management, we're responsible for helping them get brand deals and things like that. So it's a very big business. We're over 100 people in London, Manchester, New York.
I see.
Big up.
Yeah.
Big up. I've never been, but I want to go. I know. So we have a lot of different teams. And then account management is another big thing. If you want to get into,
so is that
marketing.
sales?
It's different in our business to sales. So sales is more going out there and getting new business and new briefs. Account management is kind of like project management, but also building their client relationships to a point where they can grow those clients and upsell. So their responsibility is growth within the current clients. Sales is new clients.
Yeah. So I would still say that sales. It's in a sense like you've got your we call it a new customer hunter, and then we've got the sales team who focus on growing the current the actual accounts. So for someone wanted to do, because that to me, say if you're not very creative, could you be an account manager? Say if you wanted to be in the marketing space.
In certain businesses, certainly. In our business, probably not.
You need to have that flair
you need to have that understanding of social, because ultimately the clients want to be working with a social business, and if their day-to-day contact has no idea about social, then it rings alarm bells. So all of our account managers are incredibly social and have that real base level understanding of what it means to schedule content, report on it, because they're the ones conversating with the clients
and feeding back to them.
But in terms of
but could you get into it from nothing? Do you know what I mean? Like if you were to apply for a role like that,
right now it's quite.
Is it dead competitive?
So I put a role live, I get about 400 applicants.
It's what I mean. Everyone just wants to work in it, don't they?
It's so tricky, but that doesn't mean I don't give a shit about if you've got a degree.
You don't?
I don't. Could not give a monkey.
I mean, look at your degree. Fine.
Exactly. I couldn't give a shit if you've got a degree. Doesn't make a difference to me. If you've got one, great, but it doesn't make a difference. What I actually look for, and this is so when I'm looking at applicants that come through, portfolios do stand out.
Do they?
Above CVs, 100%. Your CV, I can scan it within 10 seconds and know. Yeah, maybe not. No, if you've got a link to a portfolio on there, I'll click it, and you can show me so easily. This is the work that I've done. Whether it's if it's for a content creator, if you've got a portfolio of pieces of content that you've made, great. If you are a social media manager and you've got a portfolio of I built this page from X to Y, great. That's going to spike my interest 10 times more than I worked at here and I worked at there. CVs.
So you like the evidence?
Nothing. Yeah.
What about their own personal pages? Say if someone's got a decent little TikTok page or whatever, would you check them out?
100%.
Yeah.
So again, within the team, that's definitely been something that has got people foot in the door,
right?
Massively.
So I wouldn't get a job at this stage.
No,
We'll look at that in a
no,
bit.
but you're no, not yet. But maybe in time after my help.
We're gonna have a deep dive.
But yeah, portfolios make a massive difference. And then also, what else could you be doing to stand out? You know,
Yeah.
back at Social Chain, we used to get like these like wild applications all the time. One time, this girl sent like a fully built Lego of The Office,
Shut up.
and she didn't end up getting the job, but she got an interview.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that everyone has to send fully
You're
built
gonna get
Legos.
loads of Lego now.
Don't send fully built Legos, but what else can
Something
you be doing
a little bit
to,
of
to,
at the
to
end of the
get
day,
attention?
and it's a creative career. So if you've got some sort of flair on the application, then that's going to spark an interest, I guess.
Exactly. One time at Social Chain, the bloke flew an owl into the office with a fucking
I'm sorry.
USB stick. I've got a photo.
A fake owl
No, a real owl.
with the USB stick. What with his TV on?
Like in the
No,
speaker, like
what?
attached to its leg.
What?
Again, didn't get the job, but got an interview. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
yeah.
wow. No
wild.
animals were harmed.
Yeah, literally flew in like.
No, that's
I
wild.
he hired like I don't know. It's like must have been like a owl.
What they called them? Get like a gamekeeper or something.
Yeah, and he like knocked on, and the owl just flew. It was just. I'll show you the picture. Like, honestly, it sounds like didn't happen of the year, but like,
yeah,
it happened.
It sounds mad. But what about if you've got zero experience? So what if someone who's got no portfolio, they've not got a degree either, which you're not fussed about. What sort of roles should they be applying for? And how should they be? What should they do to stand out, or should they get experience? Should they grow their own TikToks? Like, what should they do?
I think growing your own page is one of the best things that you can do to kind of showcase, especially in social. In terms of like entry level roles, like account executives and like marketing executives or like assistants.
Yeah,
those are the types of roles that kind of crop up and are junior, more kind of project management level things where it's just you're supporting the team rather than kind of leading any of the processes. But those kind of roles, look for the social media assistant roles or look for the account executive roles. Yeah. That's where you're going to get into the industry. Yeah. Also, like there's loads of great, internship businesses. Again, you're not going to earn a lot of money doing an internship, but it's a foot in the door. So we have a girl in my team at the minute who started out as an apprentice. She did through the Juice Academy, which is like a really good one in Manchester, but there's loads throughout the country, like social media apprentices, started out foot in the door. Within like 4 months, I was like, she's too good to be an apprentice. So I was like, we're going to hire her full time, because she was wasting her time going to this like apprenticeship day every week. Yeah. So like, and she's now, had 2 pay rises since, is like flying. So yeah, there are some great apprentices. We've got one at the minute in, young lad who's come through like a Channel 4 apprenticeship, which is really good. So he's doing video editing for us. And again, just getting stuff on your CV, intern, like, offer your time, and those are the types of things that'll stand out.
So like say someone wanted to be, say they've made a TikTok page, they're making really good videos, but they've not got the following. Would that still spark your interest?
Yeah, if the videos are intriguing enough, because following's
or they've been put together nicely, but maybe the topic's a bit dry or whatever. Like you can see potential.
100%.
It's that's your CV at the end of the day, I guess.
100%.
Yeah, interesting. Say if you was to do a degree, so say there are people out there still wanting to go uni. What topics are good? What would you like? What would spark your interest degree wise? Or do you just not look?
I personally don't look, but that's not me saying don't go to uni, because I went to uni.
Yeah, uni's a good vibe as well. Like you learn a lot.
Good vibe. You learn a lot regardless of what course you do. There will be some great like marketing courses, media courses that are that can be really good. But yeah, if you want to go to uni, go to uni. But I would say in marketing, from my experience, like a degree doesn't make the difference. Yeah. But if some people need to go to uni to like build their confidence and
mix with people,
which is fantastic to do.
Yeah. What would you do though if you was 21 again trying to find a job in marketing? What would be your approach?
The thing is, going back to 21, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be a person trying to get a job in marketing. But that was just who I was.
Yeah.
I used to watch The Apprentice and be like, business,
I used to watch him be like, oh my God, yes, that's my
you
life.
would, yeah. I was like, there's no.
Mate, I watch Wolf of
fucking
Wall
way.
Street and I'm ready to get some prostitutes. Like, that's my life. But yeah.
But
Yeah.
if I was 21 right now and I wanted to get a job in marketing, what
Yeah.
I'd be doing is exactly the same as what I did back then.
Yeah.
I'd be building pages. I'd
Yeah.
be, connecting with as many people as possible. I'd be going to events, meeting people.
Even faceless pages, like you say, you don't even actually necessarily need to put your face in it.
I think that there's loads of events that you can go to. There's like marketing meetups.
Mm.
There's one actually called the Marketing Meetup, which is really good. Get yourself there, network, meet people. That's the way that you get in the industry, is through connections.
Yeah.
As well as having, a good grasp of what it means.
Yeah.
Build your confidence as well, because it is it is a thing that you kind of need.
I was going to ask that because, like, personality wise, for this kind of, like, when you're interviewing for someone, personality must be a huge thing.
Yeah, it is. And we do look for like a mix of personalities, because I think some people, like, say for example, if you're a really like data heavy person, your personality is probably reserved for because that aligns with the type of work that you're going to be doing. But if you're going to have to be a client facing person, of course you need to be, more extroverted,
confident. Yeah, you need confidence.
confident. I wasn't confident when I was 21. I think I just kind of I was lucky that I got into it, and I've had to build my confidence over time. I almost had to build it quicker than I ever thought.
Yeah.
But I do try and like hire people who are smart and not necessarily always the loudest in the room. The rest of the industry, I think tend to go for more loud people, extroverted people. But I certainly see value in people who are introverted as well. And it's about finding the balance and balancing the business, because a business full of extroverts, you're never going to get enough done.
God, if everyone was like me, I'd be fuming. Yeah. So, because I guess if you're like behind the camera or whatever, and you're behind the scenes kind of role, that's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
You're not invisible, but as in the eyes of the client, they're invisible. So that's fine. I think the client facing, which can be, translated across a lot of different businesses, like similar vibe. The sales team, the finance team are generally quite quiet. Yeah. So it's a bit of a random one for me, but I'm literally.
I don't know how you.
It's
how you married up there.
And like, I guess we've like looked at like CV and how to like build your portfolio and stuff. Like, what are actual skills that people possess that are good?
So in my team in particular, content creation, video editing, social in terms of analyzing content, the specific platform knowledge, like each platform is slightly different, so have a play around with specific platforms. And then interpersonal skills, the ability to present as well is quite important in a lot of our different roles. Right. If you a lot of my job now anyways is pitching, so that is building a pitch deck with the help of a lot of different people and physically presenting that in a room. So if I'm interviewing you and you're not compelling me with the way that you're having a conversation, then that's a flag for certain roles. Presenting, I'm trying to think off the top of my head as well. Obviously, good English, especially for communicating with clients, not so much necessarily internally, it's all instant message.
How do you find it on a global scale? Like, do you have a lot of people, like, is it just English globally, like if you go do anything across the board, or do you just deal with the US anyway? So it's not.
Predominantly we work with the US. I mean, we have done some things in we've got a France office actually with one girl who's moved from the US back to France. But mostly it's in our business anyways is English. I mean, a lot of our clients are global as well, but it tends within the industry to kind of come back to English.
She's not called Emily, is she?
No.
Emily in Paris. Have you seen that? Have you not seen that? Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
It's about an English girl that goes and works for a marketing agent. No, an American girl that goes and works for a marketing agency in Paris.
Maybe that's no, she's French, so she was French
Right.
in New York.
Right.
Now
It
she's
way.
gone back.
Yeah. Agence Cadeau, it's called. Great program. What about like how do you think it's like? Do you think it's something that you're born with? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you think it's just like an instinct having that flair, or can you teach it? Like, can it be learned?
I think the majority of marketing can be learned.
Yeah.
I think some people on a very specific social level, like social media level, I think some people have it and some people don't. It's like a deep innate understanding of humans and what gets humans to do things. That's the part that I've always found difficult to teach. But like you can teach and you can learn so much of it. But I think the best social media marketers are the ones who really just know how to make people tick, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what, I don't know why or how, but I think that's what came naturally to me. Yeah, I couldn't put a finger on it.
Yeah.
I just, when I started, tweeting back in those early days, I just knew how to do it.
Yeah, because people say that, they're like, "Oh, it's just so easy though. Just put anything out there." And I'm like, "What do you mean? Just put anything out there? Like, I can't just think of something and put." And I think, but for me, it's thinking of it. Like, I just think I can't think what to put. And I was like, just don't think, just do.
Coming up with ideas is part of it, but I suppose with marketing and with social, it's how they're put across. It's how you're capturing attention. Like on social, for example, the best thing that you can think about when you posting is putting yourself in the shoes of the other person on the other side of the screen. Like, what are they doing right now, and what is it about this piece of content that's going to stop them? Is it posed a question in their mind that only watching the video can answer? Because naturally, if there's like a gap of curiosity or there's a gap of knowledge, naturally humans, we want to fill it.
Yeah.
So if it opens up with a question of like, I don't know, I can't think off the top of my head, but like, if you pose a question in their mind and they're like, oh well, I don't know. All right, well, I can watch it and I'll find that out. That's always going to win.
Yeah. So I guess, right, well, selfishly now, what would you change for my page and all my 200 followers?
Do you want us to have a look now?
Should we have a look? Have you got your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's have a little look and tell me what I'm doing so wrong. Look, some of my last ones have got like in the thousands. They're not doing horrendous.
What I've seen, I don't think you're doing much wrong at all. Like this one here, this
Which
not
one's
being rained in. That's doing
well. That was on trend. That not being rained in.
So it's on trend. Using the music.
Yeah.
On TikTok as well. Music can, using a trending sound can drive a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
And that that being trending would have delivered more videos.
Yeah.
I like this one. That's gone out. When was it? 2 days ago. I think the way that you've started
the clothing one, was that good?
Yeah,
was it?
The way you've started it with like a movement and a
grab the bag.
And grabbing it. It's movement. It's
okay.
People in.
Look at me go, guys.
I think something that you could be doing a little bit more of is making your captions a little bit like longer and searchable. Like you can really play with your captions. You can make them long.
Really? See, I don't feel like I put any effort into them, to be fair. So you're right on that.
Yeah, because asked me the same question a year and a half ago, and I said captions don't matter too much. Now they really do, because what the platforms are starting to do is become way more search focused and search engine optimized, especially TikTok. If you think about what you use TikTok for now, what I use it for, I'm going to Mexico in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, you search.
And I search, right, this hotel, I'll type it in, things to do in Cancun.
Yeah.
That's what I go to TikTok for. So if you can be creating content that people are searching for, naturally, they're going to, TikTok is going to serve that to people. And there's a fantastic tool on TikTok called the Creator Search Insights. And if you literally just search that on your phone, Creator Search Insights.
Just type Creator Search Insights into the
search bar. It comes up like that.
Right.
And it'll tell you what people are searching for, what's got a content gap. So like people are searching for it, but there's not enough content to deliver.
Does it have a content gap? Let me see that bit. Where's that? Oh, content gap. Oh, right.
So people today are searching for, here we go, never quit motivation tips,
Oh,
which is up over 1,000% in search traffic this week, and there's not enough videos about that to deliver that.
so
search.
if I made one on motivation,
So if you made a video on motivation and basically you put the term in your caption, never quit, you could put it at the end, or you could integrate it into a sentence, or you could put it as a text overlay on the video.
Yeah.
Never quit motivation tips. You and then you put hashtag creator search insights.
So put hashtag creator search insights.
Yeah, you're going to get more traffic to your TikTok.
Right, I'm going to try that. I'll try that this week. Well, watch this space, guys, and I will try that. Right, okay. Oh, interesting. I know you did text me about that, but I've been looking at it and not really understanding it. I'm a bit of a grandma in this sense, I'm not going to lie. I've started putting text on the screen now, and I think that's doing better.
Massively helps.
Because it, like, rather than having to listen to what I'm talking about, they know what I'm about to talk about.
There's other little tips and tricks that you can do as well. If you have really long text over a short video, it tricks the algorithm into thinking that it's a really, really good video, because if it takes people longer to read the text than it does the video, it means TikTok thinks they're watching it twice.
And we get double views then?
Yeah.
So when I do like a cute one, like, I think I've done this like once, where I do more of them, like motivational things over a little vid.
100%.
Right, okay. And the carousel ones are doing all right.
Carousels do incredibly well. Massive on Instagram as well.
They're doing better on my TikTok than on my Instagram.
TikTok randomly. Like carousels are a big staple at the minute.
Yeah.
I think there was one of
and a carousel, for anyone who doesn't know, like I didn't know, is where you can like scroll across and it's got like text on. So I keep doing it, like how to get a pair, and then I'll do step 1, step 2. Like I'll probably do one about this as well, like how to like succeed in marketing, like for things like that.
Yeah.
It's a good little
definitely.
thing.
They go incredibly well. TikTok, very recently, you can now have like GIFs in your carousels as well. So you could have like one slide that's like moving and then one slide that's static. Instagram carousels do, it's something like 134% better across our brands in terms of organic reach.
Yeah.
And the reason why on Instagram is because if you think about when you're on Instagram, you might see someone's carousel and scroll past. An hour later, you're going to go back on. It's going to serve you the second slide.
It does. It does do that.
So it's given multiple opportunities for engagement. It's also multiple opportunities for people to share it as well. Like if you see one slide and you don't relate to it too much, but you see the third or fourth, and you're like, oh, that's me. You'll share that third or fourth slide to your story.
Yeah.
So they're very, very shareable to stories. So that's why they just do incredibly well.
Yeah, it gives people a lot of options.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting. How many like should it be if you're making a carousel? Like obviously I don't want people to get bored if it's too long, or do people really read stuff? Like is it fine?
I think people really, really read it, but I think it doesn't matter. Like some carousels are you might set up a joke in the first one and close the joke in the second. Sometimes 3. Like if you've got a story to tell and it works across 10, then do 10.
Yeah. What about then if anybody, so say someone wants to become an influencer now, someone's like 18 years old, they really want to become an influencer, like not probably a lot of people do. What do they do? Just start making content?
I think you've got to find a niche.
Find your niche.
I know that sounds quite cliche, but like it can't just be, it can't just be a normal.
Even if you're doing something fun, like you do like a daily morning rant or something like that. Yeah. Just anything.
So like whether it's like comedy, beauty and makeup, fashion, I'm trying to think, fitness, because again, especially when you're starting out, they'll tell the platforms, serve this content to the type of people who engage with fitness or engage with fashion or engage with makeup, and then you can build a lot easier in like a one channeled niche. I think it would be very, very difficult unless your personality is unbelievable to just create this like mismatch of different things. Yeah. So I think you've done well to find your niche of business and women in business and pushing yourself in growth. Like that's, again, it's something that people are seeking out, as we've just seen. Yeah. So you find a niche. You can't just chuck content up. Yeah. And then learn as much as you possibly can about the platforms, about what people are reacting to. If you're posting a video or posting multiple videos, go in the insights, have a look at how that's done. Don't just look at, right, it got 10 likes and it got 100 views. Look at the retention, right? Well, where did people in this video drop off? Everyone's dropped off after the first 1 second, right? Well, I need to make it way more interesting in the first 1 second. I need to give people a reason to stick about. And if you iterate like that, that's how you grow, and that's how you build.
Because in the insights, like, what is retention like? Like, does that drop off a lot for most people?
Yeah. So let me get our Worsley Wanderers Instagram.
This is the football team that Hannah is our goalkeeper for. Big up.
Big up.
And we actually have gone viral a couple of times since she's took over.
The Wanderers. This one here. It got 10,000 views, which is great. So it says here, skip rate. This real skip rate was 27%. Your typical skip rate is 38%. So that means that people are skipping it less often.
Yeah.
And
so they love that one.
What have I put over it? Really, really long text. So people they want to know people naturally want to know what's going on. It'll take you, 5 seconds to read that.
Yeah.
Which is, if you can get people past the first 3, they're way more likely to stick around. So it's all intentional stuff. Yeah.
God, interesting. It's a minefield, isn't it? There's so much to it.
There is so much to it.
Yeah.
And you can't, you can't do it all. But fundamentally, if you want to become an influencer, like, you have to do it for the love of the game.
Yeah.
Because
I'll tell you what, you got to be resilient as well, because this can be.
Because 99% of people, won't take off.
Well, most podcasts, I mean, I looked at a silly stat the other day. It was like 9 in 10 podcasts failed in the first year, and I was like, oh, that's fun. Love that for me. But I'm just going to keep going with it. I'm just going to keep chugging away.
For the love of the game.
Yeah.
And that's why I started out, building pages. I didn't know that I could make money from it. Christ, I didn't know I could make a career from it. But I did it because I enjoyed it, and I thought I was mint getting loads of followers on these Twitter pages. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's why I did it.
Yeah.
I used to love, like, coming up with a tweet, posting it, and getting 1,000 retweets and being like, oh my god, that's 1,000 people. Like, that was what it was for. It wasn't for the money, like, or for a career. I didn't want this. Do you know what I mean? Like,
do you know what's mad though with podcasting? So, like, obviously TikTok and stuff is like a very, like, an instant gratification, like, you get your instant views, whereas a podcast, like, I could post it, I get like no listens, but then a week later I'll have like 10, 20 more listens, because people will save it, so they're constantly listening to it, and they're growing. Like, all the episodes grow still now. Like, you post it and then you look and you think, oh, like, it's like depressing, but then
but even,
you just gotta wait.
Even on TikTok, your videos, if, say for example, a big search trend comes up and people are searching for something that you've mentioned a year ago, your video will still get served to them. So it's like that compounding interest.
Yeah, sometimes I keep getting extra views on stuff, and
it's compounding interest. So keep going, because you never know when something might kick off from months
previous
ago.
And I think that I'm just going to build my content, and even if I just do a year of this and I've got enough bank of stuff there for girls to listen to, and they can go and tune in and listen to all this advice, and it's my mission at the end of the day.
Exactly. Like, if you make a difference to one young woman, great.
That's fine. And I don't particularly want to be like a famous person per se, but I'd love to, like, coach or like help people. So if all of this there, and this just becomes like my little CV in 10, 20 years time, when I want to do coaching, then sweet. Do you know what I mean? That's definitely fine. It's no biggie. But what's more important, like, if having more views or having more followers? More views.
Followers don't mean nothing normal.
Really?
Yeah.
But what about, so if you were to approach an influencer to do a brand deal and they have like no followers, but all the videos get loads of views, would you still go for them? Yeah.
Because one, you can buy followers. 2, the way that the platforms work now, they don't prioritize. 10 years ago, it used to be you couldn't reach anyone without having followers. Now it's the opposite. It's like, if your content does a job that the platform wants, then it'll serve it to those people. It's way more, obviously, followers are an indication of how well your content has performed historically. Yeah. But someone with 100,000 followers who is going to well outperform someone with 10 million if their content is good. Yeah. Interesting. That's so interesting. Right, just some last little quick fire ones for you now. What's been the hardest part of your career? Probably days where there's been where I've had to make people redundant. Yeah. That's nasty. That's hard. Yeah. Because if you feel like a failure, business is fucking
Yeah,
hard, and
yeah,
you know, social changes every single day. Like we've had, like I said, that the time we got hacked email, right?
yeah.
Or there was another time where all of our Twitter pages just got deleted overnight. We've never got them back. Or Facebook changes its algorithm. It's happening right now in the
Yeah, like
industry.
you're so reliant on that
So
platform.
reliant on the platforms, and you know, a client can pull the plug. Like it is hard. So there's been, you know, a few instances over the past, how long have I been doing this? Like 14 years. I'm
Yeah,
quite old.
not really.
Been, yeah, couple of instances where, you know, but you have to cut costs, because if you don't, the business is gone.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
And you know, that's the number side of it. Have to cut costs, or the business is gone. The personal side of it is, shit, we've got to tell 10 people that they're up for redundancy, and the likelihood is they're probably not going to have a
yeah.
job at the end of 2 weeks.
Horrific.
Like, so that's awful. And the first time that I had to do it, like I was like, or like my mental health was drastically impacted for a couple of weeks, and it just, you know, I couldn't stop thinking about it. Now this is going to sound awful. Now I can't let it impact me.
No.
You know, I have learned over the many years, learned to like separate it. And Christ, it's hard sometimes. You know, thoughts will creep in, but like,
Yeah, but with a redundancy, Han, it's like you're being cruel to be kind at the end of the day, because you're letting them people go to save 20 other people.
exactly.
And that's the bottom line of it. It's either that or all of you is going to lose your job. So
yeah,
it's not nice, but it is a cruel to be kind situation. And
100%.
business is business at the end of the
Business is
day.
business.
And I think everything happens for a reason. If you get made redundant, then you're clearly not meant to be there. You're meant to find something else better.
Yeah.
Don't let it play on your mind.
Yeah, they're the hardest years. Now, yeah, and I don't now. But like when I was younger, I think
Yeah.
you know, for a 25-year-old, like
You do harden as the years go on, don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
massively.
Mum always goes,
get
"You're so cold now." And I've dealt with shit.
Yeah, you get a thicker skin, and
Yeah.
it's all part of the course. And
Yeah.
I actually, like, with my more senior team members, like I try and expose them to stuff like that more often, because I'm like, the more you're exposed, the easier it gets.
It builds you from defo. Like you grow with it. What do you think people misunderstand at your level? Like, as in misunderstand like what goes on, or do you know anything?
What other people would
might
misunderstand?
what people might perceive is something that you do, or
that I've got me whole shit together.
Yeah.
Because you've seen my house.
And you've seen my house.
Yeah, like
carnage.
Yeah, I do not have my shit together. I'm also not a very like, you know, prim and proper person, and most people who I've met at a similar level or higher level than me are exactly the same. Like,
Yeah.
like
I think that's being in the north, though. If you was in business down south, I think you'd find it a different
Yeah,
kind of thing,
probably.
It's in the trenches down there, guys.
Probably.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
but
I do not have my shit together.
Yeah,
on a
yeah.
personal level.
Being posh.
Oh, and
put together.
also that like that I actually like 100% know what I'm doing, because no, I don't.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And I don't think anyone does. And also, everyone is fucking winging it, right?
Massive.
Everybody is. Like, I've been in rooms with these blokes who've been around for however long, and I'm like, this guy,
Yeah.
like, do you know what I mean? Like, nobody knows what they do. Everyone's fucking winging it, right? You just got to wing it better than the other person.
Completely. It is so true. The higher up you get, the more you think, rah. Is this you know, like when you used to see senior management going to meetings and stuff, and then you'd be like, what's going on in there? Ooh, and then you get in that room and you're like, mate, like it's just like
literally,
kids again. Like, what is going on? Like, everyone's just the same as you, no matter how old you are. Yeah, I totally agree with that. You don't. Everyone is winging it.
Everyone,
no matter where you get to.
100%.
There's an element of knowing what you're doing, but in the main, is a lot of winging.
A lot of winging.
Last one. Has your definition of success changed as you've grown older? Grown old. Wiser.
Wow. It's if I don't know what I ever saw as success. I think maybe not. I think my personal version of success is going back to the Northeast and living, you know, on a farm or something. Do you know what I mean? And I think that probably always has been. I don't necessarily buy into like the
Material
the
things.
material and the like, you know, the career ladder and stuff, which is fine if you do. I just don't, and I don't think I ever will. Like I said, I used to watch The Apprentice and be like, oh my god, that's the last
Yeah.
fucking thing I want to do, and then
Yeah.
here I am.
Yeah.
But I think that's also what makes me good at what I
Yeah.
do. But
it's hard because someone, like, for you to get into that, like, it's not a fluke at all, but like,
kind of
it's a one-off.
is.
Like,
Oh,
what you've done's a one-off. Do you know what I
It was
mean?
right time, right place.
Yeah.
And that goes for all of us.
Yeah.
Who were there.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Right time, right place.
And
It
it's
really was.
difficult. So you do have to climb a ladder if you want to do something. But I guess, I mean, look, for me, like, success, like, you just want to go on holiday, you want to be able to live, you want to be able to own a house, you want to be able to have a nice car, like, just live comfortably is always a nice way to see it. But I guess you obviously wanted to be a primary school teacher, and now you're like a super successful social media bloody Vogue, fucking most influential women, all the rest of it, you know, TED Talker, all the bloody accolades. And it's like, I feel like you probably never even thought that was going to be a success. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's but then again, it's all I've ever known. Do you know what I mean? So it's hard to say has it changed, because, you know, it was third year uni that I met Steve and Dom. And Christ, you know, like I said, we bootstrapped this business. It wasn't anything. But I don't know what my version of success was before that. It was probably the same, of like just a happy life. But I don't know. At 20 years old, I don't think you really do know. But yeah, I think success to me right now, like you said, it's a comfortable life.
A couple of Barbados, couple of Mexicos. That'll
do me, you know.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Right, last segment. Do you have a boss move of the week?
Make time for yourself. Make time for something that is completely and utterly yours, and nobody else's. So mine is, at the minute, for the past year, is the gym. That is my hour a day. That is completely.
Go every day?
Pretty much 6 days a week, between 5 and 6.
Yeah.
But that is my time, where no one else can kind of get into my world. No distractions. I just have my house music blasting in my ears.
Nice.
And it honestly, and it sounds really wanky, but like, it genuinely, it has given me a lot, and it's made me proud of something outside of work. And I think it's probably helped in so many areas of my life. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the gym, but I think having that space for yourself, that where no one can, you know, be peppering you with any questions, you're not having to think about anyone else.
Yeah.
That can be like, you know, it can be gaming or sitting and reading a book. But I do think having time like that is so necessary, where you're not having to, you know, think about anything.
Yeah.
Push yourself to think about work or about your relationship or anything like that. It's just you and your thoughts.
Nice. Love that. My one is, well, I mean, so I came back and surprised Beth for a hen, which I think's total boss move. But the boss move, the boss move in that is the fact that I was able to change my pissing flights and navigate flying around a world war, and just having the ability to do that all the way from Australia. So I think that's a boss move.
I feel like I might have not read what the boss move of the week was supposed to be.
It can be anything. That's fine. Don't wait. It can be whatever you want.
Okay, good.
Well, well, thanks for coming on, Han. Nice to catch up. Thanks for the feedback on the TikTok. So let's see if we grow a bit more after that. We'll try. Watch the series coming out soon. But yeah, if you've enjoyed this episode, you want a job in marketing, reach out. Han, I'm sure, would help with any questions and whatnot as well. But yeah, like, subscribe, share it with your friends, any young girls out there that this will help. We do lots of topics. So yeah, thanks for listening, and have a great week all. Thanks, Han.
Thank you.
Bye.